Morning guys, so just fired up Bertie Bus. I pulled it forward because I'm going to be spinning it round. Have a look at this solar panel, what I'm going to be putting on the front, which is in the box down there. It's obviously running on chokes at the minute. I haven't started that up for a while, so I'm just leaving it running. So I'll spin that round, park it the other way round. I just want to check as well whether it'll actually fit into the garage before I go any further and start making more space to get it in, because, well, that'd be a waste of time, wouldn't it? I'm pretty sure it will do. Right, let's go turn the bus round. So obviously I spun it round. The last time we used it is when we went to the Stompshaw Steam Rally. So yeah, the idea is I want to put the solar panel onto the roof. As you can hear, us slowed down a bit now. Still turning over a little bit quick, but because it's air cooled, I like the air to be whirring around the engine. You can see the cobwebs on it where it ain't been used. And like I said, the idea is to get Bertie Bus into my garage for over the winter. And it looks to me like he should come in okay. I'll bring it forward in a bit, but first of all I want to just clean that roof a bit where I'm going to be putting the panel, and hopefully that'll fit on there just nice. Now this time I've got a flexible panel, because if you look at that roof, it's like oval, rounded, so it should sit on there nicely. Not even sure I'm going to put it on yet. I think I might stick it on. There's loads of different ways you can put these on, and I will start with straight away saying I'm not telling anyone how to do it. I'm just showing you what I'm going to do. Some people might say, oh, don't stick it on the roof, because obviously they're stuck there then. Well, it don't make no difference to me. I'm sure I can peel it off if I need to. One of the reasons I did get this type of panel, because of us rounded, I was going to get the solid one and do similar to what I'd done on the back, but I've had a look at the reviews of these panels, and everyone who's had one says they're pretty good. So hopefully with this one, that should keep that little battery charged quite well. Be honest, I only run a couple of LED lights for a couple of hours, I suppose, if that, and the little fridge is the thing what I like to keep going. And as you know, the last time we went camping, when the sun moved round, the little solar panel weren't getting any power, and what it was in the sun weren't enough to top the battery up enough to keep it running. Did have a look yesterday. I think that was pumping out something like 1 amp, 1.2 amps, and that mean at maximum power that I'd have, and that was about, can't remember what the voltage was now. I think that was something like 16 volt, no, 20 volt, that's it, 20 volt. But this panel here, the volts don't make much difference because it's produced through the charging unit to charge the battery. But obviously with this panel, that's going to make a heck of a difference. Well, Bertie started first time. I just took him to the end of the road and back, just spun him round. Seems to drive okay, so that's all good, no problems with the engine. I'm not sure whether we're going to try and get another little camping trip in. Take Gemini. Where is she? Gemini. What are you up to, Gemini? I see what you've done. You pulled up the weed control. Right, I need to sort that out before I do anything. Sort that out. You leave them 2 minutes and they're up to something. Where's that ball, Gemini? Bring it here. Good girl. Come here. Drop. Good girl. Here, I have a treat. Got food treats in my pocket. Sit down. Sit down. Sit. Good girl. Are you going to fetch it? Fetch. She's 13 weeks now. Come on then, bring it back. Give up. Drop. Good girl. She's learning fast, aren't you? Sit. Sit. Are you ready? Are you ready? Fetch. Come on. Drop. Drop. Good girl. Not getting a treat that time, just getting a little fuss. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Fetch. Took her out for her first walk yesterday. I didn't do a video of it, but she enjoyed it. So did we. She's going to drop it now because she knows there's no treat. You're clever, aren't you? Hey, you're a clever girl. Ah, got it. Anyway, I ain't got time to play with you for a minute. I'm trying to get something done. Anyway, trying to get something done. Good girl. Right, let's get back out to the bus. As you can hear, I slowed down a bit now. Running at the normal speed it should. Let's just have a quick look at the motor, shall we? There it is, look. Yeah, everything's good. Right then, I'm going to clean that roof off. Switch it off now. It's running long enough. I'm running a good 10 minutes, isn't it? And see about this panel. Let's go up on the roof a minute. Or up and have a look at the roof. I mean, I ain't going on it. There's that stuff I painted on it to seal it up. Now, over the last couple of days, we had some pretty awful weather. Rain, torrential rain and wind. I hadn't had a look in the back, so I'm not going to have my first look. I'm sure it's going to be fine, but I need to check that no water actually came in. Well, had a quick look inside. As you can see, I'll put the seat back up at the minute. This shouldn't be on here. I just put it on there because I needed to get in those cupboards, get something out the last time we was in it. But everywhere is nice and dry, so no water came in, which is good. So that means I can now get on with this panel. Still not sure. I'm going to do some alterations in this one day, but that's all in the future. Probably leave it like this for at least this year. I don't know how often we're going to be able to get out with other things going on. Right, let's get on. So this is where the panel's going to sit on here. I've got a feeling that might just come to this edge, but it don't matter. I think the best thing for me to do before I do anything is just size it up. Right, so I've got the panel out of the box. Just have a quick look. Yeah, 6 amp or maximum power 16 amp, 650 with short circuit. So yeah, that's considerably more than the little one we got on the back. And look how thin it is, and it's flexible. So I'll just get the rest of this packaging off. We'll have a proper look at it. There it is, out of this packaging. As you can see, I need to get that up now on the roof and just wire up how it's going to look and how that will fit, and which side to actually have those cables. Pretty substantial connections on these cables, isn't there? I've got some extension cables to plug into these to get it to the back where we're going to be fitting the controller, but at the moment I just want to see how this sits on the roof. Right then, so what I've done, I have now centralised it on these marks here, so that's where it's going to end up. It's a pity this didn't just sit on that edge, but obviously the shape of this goes in, so that will be there coming down, and that'll be just that edge. I could cut it, but I'm not going to because I think that might damage it, so we'll leave that. I've just got that so it's not underneath on the actual solar panel, and that should be fine. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to mark really with a pencil roughly where the line is, where I want to make sure the roof's nice and clean before I can glue that panel down. And like I say, this weather's not looking too good. That's one of the reasons why I was thinking of getting the front of the bus actually into the garage. And like I also said, I need to get it in there for the winter, and I mean right in. But whether I will or not, do you know what, it's actually spitting now. I think rain's going to stop play. I might have to resume this maybe tomorrow. Oh, it's a nuisance, isn't it? So at this point in time, I've just put some pencil marks on the roof where it's going to lie. I've had a couple of spots of rain. I really don't think it's going to be ideal to do this now, and I ain't in a great deal of hurry, so hopefully weekend said it's going to be alright, so I'll continue this when I get a chance. Well, I think there's enough clearance there, so if I do make some more space, I know I can definitely get the bus in probably, I'd say probably halfway in that door without the bikes and that here. I still think the Harley's going to be in the way. I've probably got to move some stuff around a bit better than this, but I think by the end of it I'll be able to get the bus in and shut the door for the winter, and that is all I really want to do. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this weather, or whether just to wait till tomorrow to see if it's better finish off his panel, just getting it stuck on the roof. Decisions, eh? Decisions. I will put the adhesive, I'll just put it on the front of that, because the idea is I'm going to flip it over, slide it under where it needs to be, fingers crossed, smooth it down at the back, and then I shall lift it, touch, and do the rest of the roof. Whether that's a good idea, I'm not sure, but there's only one way to find out now, is just get on and do it. Sure, someone's going to say, "What are you doing?" But I think I'll be alright. Well, there's no going back now, is there? Obviously it's lifting up here because I need to put a load underneath here to this front, same there, and then along the other side, and then we'll push it down and hopefully that'll hold. And I can't really do no more than that. Right then. See if I can push this down. Please work. That's all I can ask you. Please work. See what's happening here. It's not going to plan, is it? The front is lifting up. Obviously the bow is probably more here, I don't know. See, push that down, that lifts up. So let's get the sides down. Well guys, as you can see, I pulled it forward now out of the lip. That weren't working. There must be more of a bend at the back than there is at the front. It flattens out, so I was pulling it up. I don't know exactly what I can do with that. I think I might just leave it like that for now, let the side stick, and then maybe build that up with something. Piece of plastic in there, and then glue that in just to stop, because obviously the force of the air getting under there now is going to rip it. And that's definitely something I don't want. Do I keep messing about with it, trying to push it down? I think no, because when I'm pushing it down at the front, it's pulling the sides up. I think I need to just leave be, try and let that stick best it can as it is, and then go from there with another idea for that front. Like I said, I'm not showing anyone how to do it, I'm not showing anyone how to mess it up. Well, I might be, but sometimes things don't go to how you think they will, and this definitely hasn't. But I'm always thinking, and I may have a plan. I may not have a plan, I don't know, but like I say, I'm just going to leave that now for them sides and the back to stick, and then I'll sort out the front. He says, easy peasy. So I've done enough damage for one day. We're going to leave that now to go off. It's quite warm, even though it looks like it's going to rain, and already underneath where I was touching that, it's rock hard, so I'm hoping it's just stuck at the sides now how it should, and until I can let that go right off, remove the tape, maybe tomorrow, I'll see what I can do with the front. But all is not lost. I'm sure I can sort something out here. But stay with me, and we'll see what I can do. Right guys, so yesterday we stuffed this on the roof, or say I didn't go according to plan. As you can see, it's stuck at the back but not at the front. It seems to have peeled up. I don't know why it's done that, whether it's the contrast of the roof, but That's stuck really firm, that ain't coming off. You ain't going to pull that off. I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah, you can't. There's no way you can pull that off. It's not coming off. So that can stay there now. Originally I wanted to get it under this, but that weren't working, so I decided to pull it forward to see if that would work. But like I say, I don't know whether it's because it goes down and more or less made that more up and over. That definitely ain't going to stick down now, is it? So where do I go from here? Like I say, that is not going to come off. Let's have another look at the front. So obviously air is going to get under there and water and everything else. That was just too much to ask at. But I do think that's more like that at the back, isn't it? So now I need to think of something to put across the front to stop the air going under and just seal it off. Like I say, I don't think that'll ever come off, but it's on there forever now. I say ever, you can probably get off if you wanted to. That would just pull the paint, wouldn't it, off the top of the van. There's a couple of places there I want to just put a little rub on and put some paint where it's going rusty, but all in all it's quite good. So I've got to think about how I'm going to do this. I did think I could put a couple of self-tappets through down to the roof and seal them, but I'm not sure I need to do that. I think I'll just try and block this off. As you can see, change of plan here. Going to try some expandy foam. I've already put a bit in of some already had lying about in the garage, which was left over from another job. Seems quite good stuff. Let's just go have a look at that, what we've done. You can see it's dried on this ruler here, look, nice and hard, and it does stick very well. Where that is on the last one, like I said, there was only a little in the can, so I was just squeezing. I was waiting for some more to come back, but they ain't going to move now just with that in. So I'm just going to fill some of these gaps now that we've got left, and then I can cut it straight. And I don't know what I'll do then. Might be able to just paint it, or I might have to find some other way, but I think just painting it will probably do the job. But that's definitely not going to go anywhere now, is it? Time I put some more in, fill up underneath, we should be laughing, eh? Like I say, slightly different plan to what I had, but when you look at it like this, you can see the contour of the roof. It's more at the back than it is at the front, so that's why I did that. But that's going to be fine. God, it's quite warm though. So I'll put some more in there, as you can see, and we're just going to leave that now and let that go off, and I'll cut it off square as I can, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do with it from then. But as it goes, I don't think I'm going to have any problem with that being able to lift up now. Not only does that fill all that gap, I poked it under, so I filled it underneath it. That's also like a glue, so that'll stick to that quite well. Let's just now leave it and walk away until it's ready to be cut. It's still expanding in places. So obviously if I had the roof up now, elevated, then this panel where we're parked now won't be getting a lot of sun at all, if any. So that's when the back one will come in handy. although I don't pump out many amps, that'll still give us the 12 volt, but probably at 1.2 amps, whereas when this one kicks in, it should kick out 6 amps. So it's all pretty cool. Well, this edge here I'm going to clean up, and I'm going to put some more of the sealant around it now it's stuck down, and I'll just go round and tidy it up. I ain't going to do it now, just going to leave it, let everything cure, and then I'll do that at the end when we tidy up. Cool, it's getting there. I know it's not how I first planned I was going to do it, but yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I think it's going to work fine. So I'll put some more of this white stick, like you know what, along this side and the other side, and now I'm just going to leave it for today. So we'll pick this up when I cut this front piece off and smooth it out. Back again. It was Friday when I put the filler foam in. Obviously that's gone nice and hard now. We'll have a closer look at that, but I know it looks a bit of a mess at the minute. I think time I've finished here, that's going to look alright. And like I said in the beginning, I assumed that that would go flat, but when I actually look at the contour of that roof, I can see why it's done that. It's probably best for it to sit how it's naturally feeling right. Have a look up top. So that was Friday, it's now Monday. Very hot today. Whoops, on the paintwork. Oh. Yeah, look, that's gone hard. That ain't going nowhere. Ooh, when things don't half get hot. And the main reason I wanted to do this, so I didn't want the air to get up underneath. So I'm going to need to try and cut this off now. Square. You can't really see up here from down the ground, but I'll stick a bit of paint on here later. Like I said, I need to touch up a bit of it anyway. But this is purely just to make sure that the wind won't get under it and rip it off. But it's stuck down really well. Just where I put this cable with this little bit of this stuff, look, that is not coming off. So that's all good. We need to stick the other cable down as well, but I'm going to wait until I've got the cables all where I want them first. It'd been nice to put this flat on the roof, but because it goes up, obviously then you got a problem with loose cables. Maybe I could one day if I wanted to invest in more of these, and obviously then I'd get more batteries, but at the moment I've only got the one battery. Did contemplate getting another one, and things are not cheap, but maybe I will. We will see. But at this moment in time, I just wanted to get this one finished off, and also, ta-da, the space in the garage. Yep, the Harley sold that the other day, yesterday. Guy came up from Essex who absolutely loved pine heads. He's been around them all his life, and he thought that was absolutely brilliant. So great, that's gotten a good like I said before, I shouldn't really have bought that. I was just thinking about getting out on it, but I got the dog sooner than I thought, and I need to pay more attention to her. And also I've got these two vehicles to keep on the road. What's she up to now? What are you doing, Gemini? What are you doing? What are you up to? Something you shouldn't, I can tell by your face. Are you eating something? What you got? What you got in your mouth? Let's have a look. Nothing, unless you've already eaten it. She's staying up here because it's a bit hot down the bottom of the garden, and also she likes to be close to me. These dogs are like Velcro. They call them Velcro, and I know why now. If you're in a room and they're asleep, you walk away Next thing is they're up behind you, which is lovely if you want to keep the dog with you. I mean, I've took her on 2 or 3 walks now, and I just take the lead off when we get to the park or a field, and she won't get out of sight. She'll soon be up to you. That's all nice, but she don't like being left. Oh, she does play up a little bit, but hopefully I'll keep leaving her a little bit longer every day. She'll get used to it. I'm never going to leave her more than about 3 hours anyway, but just need her to get okay with 2 hours a day at the minute, and that'll be fine. Right, let's crack on with this. I need to find something to cut that off so I can square it up before I finish it off. So look at that, I've cut it off square, and actually I used this, just a saw. I just went along it with that just to cut it off square. Now I'm toying with what to do with it, whether to fill it with some car body filler, because that'd only be quite thin. That'd make it nice and neat. What I should have done in hindsight, I should have put some tape here before I'd sprayed the foam in, but there's a lot of things you always say after what you could have done, and like I said, I could hide that. I could have just said, look, I'm sticking this on the roof, got to the end of the video and went, there it is. But I don't hide stuff. I'll show you where I make mistakes, and if it do help someone else to do something. At the end of the day, as I've always said, there's only one person I've really got to please, and that's myself, and I'm pleased with it so far. I'll be even better time I sort this front out, and I'm going to put some paint on this roof. I'm just going to hand paint this roof, because like I said before, you can't see it, and don't really matter, does it? Yeah, I just checked the voltage again. It's 23.9 volts coming out of that. No, 22.9, so nearly 23 volts. I think I did say that somewhere in the paperwork. 23 volts. But that's not what matters, because that'll sort that out at the controller to what it's meant to be for the charger. And that's those amps really, that's what you need. Get good amperage, charge that battery up quick in the bit of sun you have. I mean, it's not really that sunny now. I know the volts don't matter, because you can't tell how many amps by volts. Volts might say 12 volt, but it won't power nothing if it's very weak amperage or wattage. I don't know much about electricity, but I do know this is going to be better than that small one on the back. Right, do I fill it with car body filler, or do I use this white mastic stuff? I have done each side. I think I might have showed you that earlier. So that's all sealed. I have literally tried pulling it off without going stupidly over the top and ripping it, but that ain't going nowhere. That'd be fine like that, but to make it look a neater job, I'm going to do something with the front. While I'm deciding what to do, I'm going to put a bit of tape on here while I do that, because this stuff's hard to get off. So I'll probably just paint over the top of that now, but I could have avoided that, couldn't I? Never mind. But I found some wide masking tape, so I'm going to stick a bit of this up there. Rightio, so I'll put a bit of body filler in there. It's not really that thick, but because it's so hot today, that is going off so fast. Semi gone off already, look. But this is an easy sand filler. I'm just giving it a rough fill into these deep parts first. Then we'll give it a sand and then put a little smoothie over the top. Yeah, I think it might crack, might not, I don't know. Use it indoors and stuff, and doors are being opened and shut and slammed. and it seems to survive if you don't put it in too thick. With this, apart from the expansion of the actual heat, hopefully we should be okay. But that, I really ain't got no idea. The one thing I do know is I'll be able to paint this, and the air's not going to get under it when we're zooming along at 170. What did I just say? 170? I meant 55 maximum. Yeah, that went off really quick, so I'll put some much hardener in this next bit. We'll just finish this piece off here. Seems like I don't want to stick to that foam very well, does it? Oh, it's hot. The thing with body fillers, they warm right up anyway to cause them to go off. As such, they have like an accelerator. Yeah, it don't look too good at the minute, but I think that'll be alright till I'm finished. Right, I'm going to mix a bit more up now and just do this area here. It's looking good. Just a note for people if they've never used these body fillers before, this is the one I always get from Wilco. Seems pretty durable. You can get P38, P40, some have got more bits in them for covering holes and stuff. But with this stuff, easy sand, I always find I get quite good results. If I'm doing something that's got to be really fancy and smooth, I get like a fine filler to do the last fill, but I've used this for most of the stuff on this van. It's good enough for me. The other thing is, if you, like I say, if you never used fillers before, in the winter they'll take forever to go off. You're thinking, oh, why does stuff go off? And you need more of the hardener, this stuff to put in it. This isn't the hardener I got with this, I bought this same stuff. But in the summer you only need a little bit of hardener and it goes off far too quick. That's why it's took me 3 times to do that little area, because it's going off that quick. I just put it in, leave it. You try and mess about with it, you'll just make a right messy job. And there again, not telling you how to do it, just showing you the advice what I can give you, what I've found. Now I could probably cut that with a blade, which I sometimes do if I'm trying to shape around a certain area. I'll get a sharp blade, like a Stanley blade, and just scrape it down to the shape and then finish with the sand. But I'm going to leave that to go off a bit so I can actually sand it, and then I'll put a bit more filler on. Might have some fine filler here somewhere in the shed, but where, I don't know. Yep, so we'll leave that to go off a bit. I'll go get myself a nice cold drink. It's very warm today. So there's the filler, it's been sanded down a bit now. It's a food pit holes now in, which I could refill. Now I'm debating whether to mix up a little bit of filler and just go over it again, just like you would on a bodywork, do it several times, or whether to actually use some of the stuff I used to stick it on the roof. I was going to do that in the beginning, but because of the amount that would use, I haven't got enough. This stuff, what I used to stick it on with, I think I'm going to see if I can smear it along the front now to seal it off. It might work, might not. Got nothing to lose, have I? I'm going to give that a go. Well, there we go, that's been filled now. The 4th time, that top coat. Looking very smooth now, isn't it? Obviously that needs sanding, and then it might need a little bit more. Still debating whether to use more filler or whether to go over it with that stick like you know what. Just put a very thin smear over it. But I'm quite happy with the way it's looking now. I must admit, when I first put it on, I thought, oh my god, this has not gone according to plan. But like most things, if you don't panic, carry on, they'll come out alright. I'm quite pleased with that now. It's not finished yet, not at all. There you go guys, so the last millimetre is that sticks like you know what, white. I think it looks okay. I'm quite pleased with that. We'll just have to wait and see what happens, but I'm happy with it. I think that's going to be fine. Just need to go up with a sponge and just clean a bit on the roof, but eventually I'm going to be painting this part of the roof anyway. But that's definitely sealed it off. No water will ever get in there. Sealed off both sides, and we know along the back was a nice bead, so it should all be good. Let's just go closer and have a look. There we go. No, it's not a pretty sight. I don't want to touch it anymore and make it any worse, so I'm going to leave that and call that a job. That'll all go off. There'll be like a plasticky waterproof coat. So there's the panel on the van. So I'm going to end this video here. Get down from the ladder. It's a little bit windy even though it's warm today. That's going to take no time at all to go off. It's going to be waterproof. Only one person who's really got to be pleased, and that's me, and I'm pleased with that. So the next job's going to be obviously is to fit the controller, but that'll be in another video. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking it a lot. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now.